Hello?
Hello there.
Who the fuck is this?
Doesn't matter. Now fucking play!
Back to Intrusive Thoughts, the only show where we promise good conversation and even questionable life advice. Or, oh my God, see, already, life advice. I'm on a device, so, today we got a guy who doesn't just play the bass, he survives it. A man who has been in and out of through fire more times than I've been in and out of my ex's DMs. Please welcome the human low end, the king of the four string, the guy who makes grown men headbang
Hey,
for the 7/8 time.
it's,
Yo.
it's five string. Let me correct you. Five string.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, that's you got to remember I'm 54 years old. They didn't have that back then,
Yeah, it's all good. I forgive you.
Yeah, so we have Kyle LeBlanc. Or is it LeBlanc?
It's actually neither. It's LeBlanc. So the C
Oh,
is
that's
silent. Yeah, it's very weird. I find myself saying LeBlanc because I just moved back
nice.
from Missouri, and that's the only way people can understand it. So yeah,
Of course.
you
Yeah,
can call me
there
LeBlanc.
we go. So again, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man.
Quick question before we start. Did you bring the bass, or are you just gonna stare at each other in silence like a bad band practice? And honestly, I literally drank way too many energy drinks before coming on because I'm so goddamn tired.
I had like a giant cup of coffee. I insisted to make before. I was like, I have a podcast to do, so I'm gonna get hyped up and like just go for it. I don't have my bass with me right now. I have all my stuff up. Actually, I left my bass up in Missouri when long story short, um I don't want to go into details, but had kind of a little separation from my wife, and I left my bass and some of my recording stuff. But behind me here, I've been working on all my latest stuff that I've done. I'm actually going to be releasing my own solo album up. I want to shoot for June 4th because that's my birthday, but that's kind of selling it short. So I'm gonna give myself probably like another month. That way I can finalize everything and polish it. But so far, man, everything is sounding super good. But as for the bass, yeah, no bass today. It's gonna be like the awkward band practice where I'm just gonna stare at you the whole time, kind of like so.
Nice. It's like an awkward first date,
Yep,
Just like I
exactly.
have
Where you
nothing to
don't.
say to you. I read your
Yeah.
Tinder profile, and we have nothing in common.
So
So
you
let's
just
just
look at
see
your
everybody
phone
each other.
instead, which
Oh
my
my
phone's
God,
right here, so I can't really do that.
right? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's how people should date from now on. Is just put their phones on a cradle in front of each other and just zoom each other.
Zoom each
Even
other
though,
from 5 feet away. Yes,
yes,
agreed.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
break the
probably the best
ice.
way.
And break the ice. That's
So,
hilarious.
uh, you've been in music for years, both as a solo artist and with through Fire. What first drew you to music? And I know this is kind of a staple question and cookie cutter, but I
No,
don't know.
it's
I always like
I
to
like
ask.
I like being asked that question. What drew me to music was my father was a drummer and I was always around him, and he would actually insist on always taking me out to his shows. And I remember there was one particular show. He played a festival at this giant, like our big we call it the Cajun Dome here in Louisiana. It's our sports arena. And outside of that, they have a football field, and then behind the football field is a giant, like just giant field of nothingness, so just grass. And they had this big stage set up, and my dad's band at the time was playing. And I remember sitting there sitting next to him while he was playing his drum set for like an hour and a half, 2 hour set, something like that. And I was just fascinated by the cymbals. For something about the cymbals just really fascinated me. The way they moved and just like the accents, like all that kind of stuff. So I took one of his like screws off of it and I started like bouncing it on the cymbal as he was playing, and it didn't seem to bother him. So, but yeah, so starting from there, I just kind of got fascinated, and then I got a little bit older, and I was able to go to the bar shows that he was playing, and I'd sit right next to his kick drum and just watch him play for 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours a night. And then one day I was like, man, I don't really want to play drums because it seems too hard. I do play drums. It seemed hard at the time, but I was like, I want to play guitar. That seems pretty fun and easy. I want to be able to do solos and stuff, even though I'm not a solo artist. But so I think it was like a couple of years later, he gifted me from Santa Claus. Santa actually gave me an amp and a six string. So I started there, and my first song I started playing was which one was that? It's something, it's one of the Red Hot Chili Peppers songs off their third album. And I mastered that song, and then I was like, man, this is it. I'm gonna keep going from here. I'm just gonna master as many songs as I can. And then I started writing eventually, joined this like crappy little band in middle school, and then ultimately graduated to playing in national touring acts. Like I ended up playing with my biggest claim to fame right now, besides like Through Fire, was being in Black Veil Brides for an entire tour. I thought that was like really really dope. That was a fun time. Definitely a fun time. Almost too much fun.
All right, all right. Now I want you to elaborate on that. Too much fun.
No, can't do that.
Damn
Can't
it!
do that.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. But
Uh,
I did get COVID on that. That was the first time I've ever had, I think the only time I've ever had COVID, but I got COVID. Everyone else got it. So we had to cancel an entire week of
oh
sold out
wow.
hockey arenas. Yeah, it was pretty bad. We had to hole up in a hotel for like an entire week. We were all so miserable, and we had to wear masks, and like, oh, it was just ugh, it sucked. I was asymptomatic, so I didn't have anything to really worry about except for getting other people sick. So
Oh, there you
what?
go.
Yeah, it wasn't
You're
too
like
terrible.
walking around like a face hugger, you know,
Phase like
just
alien reference.
coughing on everybody, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
You've described yourself as a multi hyphenate, producer, sound engineer, video editor, so on and so on.
Yes.
How did those skills develop alongside your performing side?
So music's kind of at a certain point, it just didn't seem like it was enough, especially after Through Fire disbanded. I was like, I'm just not going to pursue music unless it's my solo music. And then even that got stagnant for a little while. So I was like, all right, so I'm going to just like look into how to EQ stuff properly. I want to make the bass drums of my recordings sound super fat. I want to make the snares stick out and like resonate. I want to make the cymbals splash and resonate. I want to make everything just sound really good. So then I started getting into EQing, and that's a whole new beast, man. It's a whole new different animal. I would not recommend it if you don't have to. But I started getting into that. And then that helped my production, my overall production for my solo music tremendously. Like the stuff that I just created and mastered myself within the last week has been, it's like leaps and bounds bigger and better than anything I've ever done before. It's like studio professional quality that you would pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for. And I'm super proud of it because I taught myself that. And as far as um, the digital arts and animation and stuff, I am kind of guilty of this. I use an AI program to render movement on some of my animations, but
Sure.
I hand draw all my characters. I do a lot of the voiceovers and everything. I just do pitch shifting, or I pick like a filter or something to make it sound like a little different, or like I'll take my voice, say it as high as say something like a phrase like, "Oh, don't go there." And then I'll say it as high as I can and then pitch shift it and then put like a chick filter over it, like a female filter. It makes it sound like anime, like an anime girl. So it's just like I mean, I could sit here and explain all this stuff all day, but it's just like it's a lot and it's a lot of fun and it keeps me super busy. So, um,
Yeah, I was
I,
gonna say I do something similar where it comes to polishing lyrics or my written
mhm,
word or even some of my some of the teaser ads that I put up.
yeah,
Because I it's efficiency. There's certain things where if I grab your photo, I have my logo. I want to mix them a little bit. I'll use generative AI and Photoshop.
yeah,
I'm not gonna say I'm guilty of it because you know what that's a new evolution in a
it
way.
is. Everyone uses
And
AI one way or another, so there's nothing wrong with it, in my honest opinion.
100%.
there's really nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, and I've had several conversations in the last couple of weeks about AI. Of course, people growing up around my age and stuff like that. There's a lot of diehards that are like, oh, yeah,
Well, yeah,
but they're
yeah,
also, chest thumping, like gorillas. It's like, all right, well, it's nice that you have an amp that has tubes in it still. I
yeah,
get it. You know, but these profilers really sound like your tube amp. I'm sorry. You
or
know,
better. Yeah,
yeah, I've messed with bias effects through the Spark amp that I have,
yeah,
and I pretty much can mimic everything.
dude.
I'm getting to that point.
Yeah, like for example, like on the subject of what we're talking about now, when I was with Black Veil on that Trinity of Terror tour, we it was me, Jake, Jinx, and yeah, so me, Jake, and Jinx, all the guitar players, and obviously I was a bass player, but we all used Kempers. And we had so many, like
Love
each
it.
song was a different tuning, and we didn't have time to sit there and tune because we were back to back between songs to songs. We had to be as professional as possible. So we had a guitar tech, Josh Winters, or John Winters, excuse me, and he was a mastermind, dude. He was back there dialing in three different Kempers at one time in a matter of like 10 seconds between songs. It was insanity. But yeah, Kempers, dude, like those things are it's everything digital that you can put in a rack now. I'm sorry to say, but it has completely 150% trumped all the old school stuff. And people, yeah, they're still gonna swear on it, on the tube amps and all that stuff. But it's just like one day they're gonna actually sit down and play through this digital stuff and then be like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I've had a few musicians on, and we'll have great conversations about it. Eventually, because I'm from both sides of it.
Yeah.
I had JCMs. I've had Mesa Boogie. I've had
Oh,
all
same
these
here.
things.
Same here. My
And
favorite bass amp was actually a Mesa Carbine, Mesa
oh,
Boogie
nice,
Carbine bass head.
nice.
That was my first one and my only one. And I stuck with that thing 'cause it sounded so mean, dude. And I still swear by that thing. But yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
get what you're
mine was a
saying.
hard key. I think mine was a
Okay.
hard key. Yeah, I loved that thing when I was playing bass.
Nice.
I'm a what they call like a semi-failed guitarist. I went to bass for a little while, but I mean I
Yeah.
still play. Just not in bands and stuff like that. I'll just write my own
Yeah.
thing.
Nothing
But
wrong with that, man.
no, and kind of diving into some of the experiences you've had through Fire has been through a ton of lineup changes. A ton, it feels like.
Yeah.
Um, what what was it like, returning to it and contributing to its evolution?
Um, That's kind of a loaded one for me, honestly, just because, and I'll be completely honest now, I have nothing to really hide or hold back since the band's like all like we're all good buddies still, and we are all under the understanding that we can talk about this stuff now. At the time, we couldn't, but um, the very first time I left, we ended up getting into a huge, huge argument that was almost a like physical fight, and I was the center point of it. So I was like, I'm gonna sleep in the van tonight. I'm gonna stay as far away from you guys as possible. Justin actually came in there and was talking to me. He slept in there with me. Justin's cool. I mean, they're all really cool guys. But Justin was really cool and calm and collected in that moment. And he was like, look, man, what do you want to do? In the morning, we can fly you back out home. You can take like a 2, 3 month break if you want, or just wait till the end of this tour and then come back after. I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do that. So I did that, and then I ended up coming back to it. And then there was another time where I was back after that first time for a while. And then I'm trying to think of what happened with the second time. Second time, I think there was like some issue with my job, like my 9 to 5 job that I couldn't get out of. And whenever I was actually able to get out of it, I actually talked to Justin about it. Justin was like, "Hey, man, we can't actually fly you out. It's too late for that now. Plane tickets are too expensive." So I was like, "Dude, I just spent like 2 weeks trying to convince my boss to let me come, and now I'm able to, and I can't." So I ended up taking a little break from there, and that's when the boys, Zach and Tyler, came in the band. That was like their second, third show, I want to say, something like that. And then shortly after that, I came back in full force, and I was like, "Look, I'm in it to win it. I don't see this band." The way I said it was, I see this band either making it or breaking completely. So I'm in it for the win, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But I have a really good feeling about it. Unfortunately, I was wrong, um, and everyone kind of wanted to go in their own direction. But yeah, it was fun. That was, like I said earlier, Black Veil Brides was probably the highlight of my career, but in terms of like lifelong friends and the experiences that I made and the places that I went, the friends that I made, like all that good stuff. That was all through fire for me. That was my family. They still are my family by far. So
Well, and that's kind of cool to hear because I know, of course, because of the hypersensitivity and the fact that social media is like a wildfire.
oh
You
yeah.
hear so many different things, and having you on kind of grounds a lot of that. And I mean, some of it's pretty ugly. And it's not just again, not just with you. It's with Justin. It's with everybody, and it's just like like I said off air, I loved seeing you guys live. I mean, you brought energy. You brought like that was a
Yeah.
badass couple of shows that I was watching you guys, and
Mhm.
of course, like I said, it was unfortunate that this all happened, but you know, um, out of the group though, you and Justin, I think, are the two that I've connected with, during
Yeah,
that
and
time.
I think honestly we are the most connectable just because we're very outspoken and honest. Not saying Grant's not, but Grant's just very like to himself. So is Tyler and Zach. They were to very, very quiet and to themselves. And but me and Justin were just like, we don't give a fuck. We're just like, hi, what's up? How you doing? Tell me the most personal thing about you. Like we didn't care. We and that's why I think we clicked so well, is because we were both little hotheads, and and we just kind of
Yeah,
got
right.
we kind of got each other. We butt heads quite a few times in the band. We never fist fought, but we got in each other's faces and stuff, and then hugged it out 10 minutes later and stuff like that. And Justin's my boy, man. He's a lifelong he's like family, like I said, like family for sure.
It's funny because I was working with I forgot what online rag I got brought into you guys with. Might have been Grande Rock or something like that
Mhm.
overseas. And he wanted me to do as many interviews as possible on that like six band thing at Route 26 or whatever it was in
Yeah,
Cudahy. And I mean, I went through the gamut, man. It was exhausting. And
I
then
bet.
I got to Justin, and I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna ask you some real basic questions. I went through Waylon, I went through Brandon from Crowbot, I think at that time, or something like that. I can't remember who was on the lineup, but I think I Dead Posies. I want to say maybe what was one of them. I can't remember
I'm
anymore.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was by the time I got to Justin, he's like, "You're right." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I don't have any more words for you, brother. I think we're gonna have five questions and we're out."
Yeah, that sounds like
Which,
Justin. Pat on
yeah.
the
Oh
back.
my,
Hey man, you good? Are you good?
oh
You all
my
right?
God. Yeah, I
That's
love the
Justin.
guy. Yeah. Um. So I mean, kind of skipping away from that a little bit and talking about your like solo career and what's coming up with Heartbreak Cells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you've had multiple solo albums, right?
Multiple solo album.
Or
Well,
solo
actually,
tracks, I want to say.
oh, I've got my computer is like having trouble keeping up or even turning on sometimes. I have so much on my hard drive, but I
Nice.
have one album called What Lies Within that's on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, like every streaming platform across the globe it's on. I paid for all that stuff to be out there. Although it's not doing too good because I didn't take the proper steps. I rushed it. I didn't make sure it sounded as good as it should have sounded. I also didn't market it properly. I'm a very impulsive person, so I was like, man, these songs are so good. Let me just put them out on an album, create some digital album art, and then put it out there on Spotify and all that good stuff. And then it just didn't happen. So I actually have a friend of mine that works for a label, who's gonna be helping me, and I also have another friend that I just recently met that she is very savvy with, marketing and, like, development when it comes artist development, and she's helping me do this right, for sure. So, honestly, dude, I think this is gonna be the thing for me. That's what I feel like at least, and, if it's not, no big deal. I can't say I'm not used to it by now, but I really do hope, and I feel very strongly in my soul that this record is going to do tremendous. It's going to do some pretty big stuff. The only thing is, I would just need to find a band to back that to do it live, and I'm going to be very, very picky when it comes to that. So that's going to be a very difficult part. So
That's crazy because conversation I've had with Chuck Lepfer,
yeah,
um, he he brought the same exact thing up because he did his little stint with Flaw, and the
love
whole
Chuck.
Chris Foles thing.
Yeah.
Uh, but he had the same thing where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit picky with my new stuff, with my new
Mhm.
music and my new art and stuff like that. And I get it. Like once you're into a certain part of your career, it's either like you said earlier, make it or break it. And
Yeah, and I think the
if you
biggest
pick the
thing
wrong
is
people, you know,
I think the biggest thing is too, like June 4th, man, I'll be honest, I'll be 40 on June 4th, and I've had my day with music, and I've had my share of playing with, sorry to say, I'm not gonna name anybody, but pretty crap musicians. Just in general, they're bad at their instruments and they're bad people, like the worst of the worst. So I'm 40 years old soon, and I don't have time to play around with that stuff anymore. So if I'm gonna find somebody to be in a band and I'm gonna go tour again, it's gonna be like brothers, and they're gonna be brothers that are prodigies at their instruments. That way I have nothing to worry about because I already have enough
oh,
anxiety and
exactly.
stress, so
Well, and the thing is too is that I mean, us as creatives, it's we're hyper focused all the time and kind of OCD. And
yeah.
if it's your project, and it sounds like I'm being an asshole, but it's like it's your project.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
you're you're allowed to take in input, but it's still your project.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
And
think
speaking of, that's kind
yeah.
of how heartbreak getting back into heartbreak sells. So that's technically like Ian and Heath's project, and I'm just like the newbie guy joining in. So honestly, to answer your question about all that stuff, I don't really know much about. I mean, I know what's going on. I know what's going to happen soon, but I'm kind of like just I was just kind of thrown in. So I'm still learning things as they come day by day. But Ian has been very transparent and very vocal and communicating with me on every detail so far. I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say we do have some pretty big stuff coming up soon, and it's going to be awesome, dude. It's definitely some stuff to look forward to.
Well, and we'll at the end, you're gonna take the helm and give all the socials, give all the information, what's upcoming, and stuff
Right.
like that. Of course, and we'll promote and push out everything that you guys are doing and what you're doing also.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
I gotta ask. I mean, because this came up in a search, and I'm wondering if this is like a real thing or somebody just like put it out there because your name sounds like somebody else's. Um, there was a track that's an older song called "I'm Not Drunk but My Horses." That's that's not yours. Please tell me that's not yours.
It is. No, I'm kidding. That's not
I
mine.
was gonna say, man. When I
I'm
searched that, I was cracking the hell up. I'm like, I gotta ask him because if this is something of his, how the hell does this relate to what he's playing?
Dude, I
Uh,
have played it's funny you say that because when I lived in Nashville in 2017, I played in a country band and I dressed the part. I wore the boots, dude. I wore boots. I was like, this is not I am so miserable. Every time I got up on stage, man, I was so miserable. I was like stomping my foot and just like what you saw in Through Fire, it was the polar opposite. I looked like I
okay.
was like 80 years old in a 20-year-old man's body. I
Oh
was
my
just like,
god.
oh my god, dude, it was the cheesiest stuff ever. It was not my vibe. It was not the vibe, period. So, I'm glad that's over with. But no, that song is not mine. I've never heard of
That
it.
is
But that,
great. I was cracking up when I put that as a note. I'm like, I'm gonna ask him anyways because it came up under your name, and I would
shit.
be like, oh, this is like one of those things that you're not allowed to say or question.
Yeah. If it's
Uh,
bad enough, I probably would have denied it. But
oh my god.
honestly, right hand of the man, that ain't my song.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you're talking about the country thing, which is like that
Oh
song
yeah.
screams country, podunk trailer park crap, you know.
Oh god. I
Oh,
don't
it's so
care to
funny.
relive any of that. Yeah, that was
Oh,
pretty
it's
rough.
great.
Pretty dark
I can't
time.
imagine. That's the first time I ever heard a musician go, "I'm disgruntled. I feel like a postal worker." Just stomping his foot, dressed
Yep.
dressed the part. Oh my god,
Dude,
that's great.
I didn't step foot on that stage until the second before I needed to be on, and I left the second I was able to. I did not want to be up there at all. It was a paid gig, not paying much, mind you, but it was a paid gig. So that's the only reason I was doing it, because I was doing it as kind of like a side hustle after I was transitioning between jobs. So dude, it was anyways, yeah. So
That's funny.
that was fun.
So, kind of reeling back to the first song that you started picking up with. Oh my God, I'm having a problem. Under the Bridge, was that the song?
Under the bridge, that's it. I wanted to
Oh
say
my
water
God,
under the
yes!
bridge,
Did
and I
I
was like,
win?
yes, you won.
Yeah, I was
uh,
thinking about it. I'm like, that's got to be the song because I think between playing bass and guitar, that was my first Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
yeah, and that was a pretty tough one to learn as a starter, dude. That's not an easy song to learn.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean that bass line that Flea throws out is just it sounds simple to a guitar player, but it's really not.
dude. Flea is like of a different breed. Like his
Species.
yeah. There's no other person. I know it sounds cliche to talk about Flea, but let's just put that out there. But if we're being really honest with ourselves, that dude's a fucking anomaly. Like he is something else. Like the way nobody in this world plays like Flea. Nobody.
Yeah, you
The
look.
way he picks his walks and stuff, and certain root notes match the certain.
Yes.
It's just it's crazy, dude. It's insanity.
Yeah, and
But
that's the
yeah,
thing with especially with bass because I think honestly that's more challenging than guitar because
it can be.
everybody can
Yeah,
sit in a pocket and everybody can thump along with the bass drum or something like that, but when you start to fill certain areas
yeah,
and do these like little harmonies and stuff with the guitar or the singer, that's beautiful.
exactly.
That's difficult as hell to do sometimes.
People Yeah, people tend to underestimate highly. Like they always make fun of bass players and stuff. You'll see the T-shirts with the bass player holding hands with two dudes or something like, and then the singer has like six chicks next to him. You've seen that shirt before, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's always a topic to make fun of the bass player and whatnot. But honestly, bass is so underestimated and overlooked. Like it's not an easy instrument, especially if you're playing a five string. And I'll say playing bass too. I don't play traditionally. Like I'm not talking about finger style or pick or anything. I don't play traditionally. I lock in. So if the pattern's like boom boom bop boom 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 bop, I don't just go da 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 da. I just dum dum da dum da dum da. I play with the kick and the snare. I don't
Right.
strum quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes. I don't strum like that like most bass players. So, and I've been told that people are like, "Man, you have a very like weird it's not weird. It's a good way of playing, but it's just very different." I'm like, "Yep." And it makes it sound
Yeah.
so much thicker. It really
And the
does.
thing and the thing is it fills the drum part too. I mean it's considered a percussive bass player at that point,
It's a
you
rhythm
know.
section for a reason. And that's why they
Yeah,
call it a rhythm
exactly.
section. Yeah. You're supposed to
Yep.
lock in. And like you said, in the pocket. That's the best way you can put it is in the
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah. So with that being said, what got you to that point of kind of getting away from the, like I said earlier, the quote unquote failed guitar player thing where you started to play more percussive and more in the pocket? What got you to that point?
You're saying like would switch me from guitar to bass?
Yeah, because there's
Oh,
always
so
that
okay.
transitional period, you know.
Yeah, so I actually got recruited. I was living in Louisiana till I was 19, and then I went to a show in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to see a big band called or it was they weren't big at the time. They were called City Sleeps, produced by John Feldman, who's done The Used. He's also the singer of Goldfinger. He's a huge producer. Anyways, he did a band called City Sleeps. They were one of my favorite bands. I went out to this little shit bar to see them, and then the opening band was a band called Makeshift from Houston, Texas, that needed a guitar player really bad. So they asked me, they're like, you look really cool. Do you happen to play guitar? I was like, I actually do. I play pretty decent. And they were like, all right, would you want to maybe move to Houston? And we were so young at the time. I was like 18. And so they were like, would you want to maybe move to Houston and like, be in our band? I was like, sure. I don't have a car. They're like, we can pick you up tomorrow night. I was like, sure. So we did that. They picked me up, and the bass player and his girlfriend picked me up in their pickup truck. I rode in the bed all the way from Lafayette to Houston, which is like 4 hours, with my bass or with my guitar, everything like that. So I played guitar in that band for a little while. That band broke up. And then there was another band called Glass Intrepid that I looked up to. Those were like the local legends at the time. They said, our bass player is going to college. We need to replace him. Would you feel comfortable switching from guitar to bass? And I was like, sure, I'll try it. And I ended up falling in love with bass, like absolutely falling in love with it. And I was like, not tooting my own horn, but I was pretty decent from the get go. Like I was doing walks and stuff, and like staying on the root note, but doing walks and all that fun stuff. And so I just picked that instrument up really quick, and I excelled at that really quickly. So it just became a favorite of mine, honestly, over any instrument. And then
No,
now,
that's
now I'm like a
yeah.
singer, so singing's like probably my favorite thing besides bass now.
And speaking of which, with the writing side of things, yeah, of course your solo stuff, that's kind of ridiculous to ask that question. But when
Mhm.
you do collaborations, how much percentage wise do you think you give to any single song when it comes to like um heartbreak cells or versus like your solo stuff, but when you start to write, how much input do you take from other people? That's where I was wanting to get at.
I want to say none, because I've been asked this question for a lot, actually recently a lot. What kind of
Mm-hmm.
music do you listen to? This sounds so savage and so like shitty of me to say, but I really don't listen to much music. But when I do listen to music, it's either Bad Omens,
Nice.
Bring Me the Horizon, Kill Switch Engage, or get ready for it, Snare Roll, Drake.
Oh,
I lo-
wow.
I love
Right.
Drake. I love Drake. I
Oh yeah.
absolutely love Drake, and I love his vibe. I agree with his personal allegations and all that stuff, but I love Drake's
Sure.
music. So yeah, Bring Me the Horizon. Bad Omens is my biggest influence when it comes to my personal stuff. So I pride myself off of like not sounding like them, but being able to embody that vibe, that feel, the lyric style, stuff like that. Um, yeah, man, I wish I could show you right now, but I can't wait for everyone to hear this new stuff that I've got coming out. It's pretty
We
good.
could tease the hell out of it at the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
Just everything and anything that we put in the description or little links to some like snippets would be incredible.
yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
Um.
I can
So
actually send you over one of the MP3 or WAV files or whatever. So if you want to give a little, I don't know how you work it, but maybe if you want to give it like a little 30-second clip of something.
yeah, we can swap out the intro and
Cool.
do that. Yeah,
Awesome.
that'd be awesome. Yeah. And we talked about you being, picky with the next evolution of what you want to do via tour or whatever.
Mhm.
What's your dream collaboration or artist that you would love to work with?
You mean like tour with,
Yeah, well, yeah,
or
let's go
just
with that. That'd be yeah, because I mean the collaboration thing, recording wise, I mean you could have the pick of the litter and people
yeah,
jump on it.
when it comes to that, there's so many people that I would actually love to play with that if I had it my way, I would be in like a Slipknot type band times 100. I'd have like 90 people on stage, but but as far as like who my ultimate band would be to tour with, um, it's just and it's kind of weird to say, but just how kind they were and how influential they were when I did tour with them. But either Black Veil Brides again or Motionless in White. Motionless in White are some of the sweetest dudes I've ever met. Like Chris Motionless,
I was
that
just about
dude.
to say that. Yeah.
He's actually so I recently adapted. I've been taking some online vocal lessons and stuff, and I've been changing my voice to be deeper, more stamina, singing from my diaphragm. My screams are getting deeper and all that stuff. They're also getting higher, but my inflections, my pronunciations on certain words, I find myself now more influenced by Chris, which is awesome because I love his voice. He's got such a good voice.
Yeah, I mean, to the point where they're using it on WWE, so there's something there.
Absolutely.
That was amazing to see that live.
With Rhea Ripley. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
I was
sick.
like, damn, you know. But all right, so we're gonna kind of slide away from this, and I told you about
Yeah.
this off air. What is one of the conspiracy theories that you've either heard or you believe in, or you found out that it was debunked?
Uh, conspiracy theories that were debunked. I mean, honestly, like in my opinion, they wouldn't really still be conspiracy theories if they were debunked. So I in fact, Joe, I don't know of any at least, but I would say the one that's the most intriguing for me, and I'm not going to say 9/11 because everyone says that, although that is very highly intriguing. I would say the Sandy Hook shooting.
That's yeah. There's a few people. Jim Jeffries is one of them that talks about that, and
Yeah,
he talks about it on Rogan, and it's vastly different than the stand-up part of it. Um,
yeah. I mean, without going into too much detail about it, because it is very grim, and I don't like to even think about, because I had a stepdaughter that was 6 years old going into a school that had a shooting threat or what do you call that? Um, a gunman threat or something like that.
yeah, yeah.
So
I was
it
just about to
so
say
that
that.
stuff just freaks me out. It gives me chills to think about it. But as far as the Sandy Hook stuff, I don't know. I don't know if it's bigger now, but it was not well known back then whenever it happened. But a few months after Sandy Hook, there was a YouTube video, and it had I forget what song it was, but it was a Guns N' Roses song playing in the background, oh, super loud the whole time. You could barely hear the dialogue. But it was talking about all kind of stuff. Like they had this one gentleman that was in a neighborhood right outside of the Sandy Hook school. There's an old guy, and the kids would always get off of the bus at his house and then walk and disperse back and walk to their own homes from there. That was like the bus stop. And he was saying something about, yeah, the kids never showed up, blah blah blah. The kids never showed up, and blah blah blah. And then the next interview they did with him, which was like 3 days later, he was like, yeah, they all showed up off the bus, and I took them inside and made sure everything was okay, and I fed them, and blah blah blah. I'm like,
I don't think I've
that
ever
right
seen that. Holy
that right
smokes!
there got me. And then there was another thing they showed a sky view of a map, and then they started charting off and drawing different areas of in accordance to where Sandy Hook was, the main drag, and then they had police cars and fire trucks barricading the main drive to Sandy Hook. It was the weirdest thing because don't you think that should be open for emergency vehicles to get through to? Instead, the emergency vehicles were barricading that main drag. It was just maybe there was a reason for it at the time.
Yeah,
I'm not an emergency responder or a police officer or anything like
of
that, so I
course.
don't know how that works, but I just thought that was fucking weird, dude. But
Yeah,
definitely
that's
something
something.
to watch.
Guys, whoever's listening to this, deep dive in this, and please, please start helping us figure all that out.
Yeah.
I have a few friends that are artists in around that area too, and I'm sure they would, you know, definitely jump on the comments on this one.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Another really weird thing too was the Boston Marathon bombing. Do you ever saw or did you ever see that
Yes.
video of the leg that disappeared?
Yeah.
There was like a limb, like a from a shin on down and a whole foot, and then somebody ran past and it just disappeared. Did you see
Yeah.
that video?
Yes.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like what?
Yeah. And this is like pre AI. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
yeah,
Pre-AI.
it
Exactly.
blows my mind because I mean, now it's to the point where I almost feel like AI is also the conspiracy theory too, because it's like now they're trying to, as I said earlier, debunk the conspiracy theories that are already debunked. Like they're trying to do a double negative at this point.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, oh yeah, this was AI. No, it wasn't.
It's
This was
eh,
pre AI.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
AI is just yeah. On that topic, AI is kind of a necessary evil at this point, and it is fun
it
to
is.
use and stuff, but it is ruining parts of the world, So
It is.
it is a necessary evil for sure.
Um, oof. Now that we got through the dark part of that,
Oh shit.
uh, so I ran your name through Grok and ChatGPT for a
Okay.
slight roast, and I told you about it earlier. And some of them are just basic, and some of them I feel like the ones that I've read on the last episodes they were almost like complimentary, and then I asked it, hey, do me a favor, be brutal, you know, and get away from the niceties, Uh, but the first one says Kyle is the only bassist who left the band and came back, probably because he forgot where he parked the van.
That was actually a fact. I forgot where I parked the van in New York and got a fat ticket from the New York Police Department. So that is half true.
Nice. That's actually good to hear. Oh my gosh. They call Kyle the backbone of Through Fire, but let's be honest, that's what bassists tell themselves so they don't cry in the practice room.
Half true also.
So bro's been out or in and out of Through Fire more times than the sound guy checks the mic. One more tour, guys, I swear. I don't know.
It,
That one was kind of
it
lame, but
it's all for reasons. It's all for
right.
reasons.
Um, Kyle produces, engineers, plays bass, and does backing vocals. Basically, he's the Swiss Army knife of the band. Too bad the knife's only got a tiny blade and a corkscrew. Jesus.
That's pretty brutal, dude.
Yeah, that's like I told you. This is I went and hit brutal, and some of them are pretty funny, but some of them are like, damn man, just take it easy,
Yeah,
you
I don't know
know?
if I'm ready for that yet. Because
Right?
that's gonna give me an ego. It's gonna destroy my ego, man.
Oh,
I need
oh
my
God.
ego and all.
Right. I mean, yeah, you're missing a string, so you're not a guitar player, man. You hold other people's hands.
I'm one string away from a guitar player,
There
actually,
you
and
go.
my strings are bigger. So ha.
Oh my God. It says if Kyle's solo music had as many streams as his excuses for leaving the band, he'd be bigger than Post Malone.
Ouch.
Yeah. I'm gonna read one more. I'll have to send you these off air.
Yeah, I want to read these. This is
Yeah,
funny.
these are great. He's the human equivalent of a $30 Amazon base. Technically works, but you're embarrassed to be seen with it in public.
And what is it that you found? This is like live or like actual comments on Chat GPT.
Yeah, I all I did was put your name in. I said, Kyle, musician, and roast him,
Oh,
and it just came up with,
so
of course, with your
so
last name, but
I'm a little slow sometimes, most of
Yeah.
the time, but I'm really slow right now for some reason. I'm still waiting for my coffee to kick in. I thought you meant that these were actual comments from people on like a Reddit type thread that
No.
Chat GPT.
They might have combed. They might have, the way that Grok works. It actually pulls everything from Twitter, Reddit, everywhere, and then kind of builds that from that.
Yeah, I mean everything online is built from something else, and that's another thing that AI is kind of ruining is privacy and like everything you do and look at is monitored now. And so and I know this is like a common thing to say, but everyone says it and everyone knows it. But do you also get that where you say something and then like I guarantee I'm going to go on Facebook after this and there's going to be podcast ads all over the place.
100%.
Yeah,
Like
like what is
I, sh-
that?
I literally shut my phone off when we're doing this
That's
because
insane.
that thing I feel like is like looking at me like an ex girlfriend around a corner and stalking what I'm
Oh, dude,
doing.
another thing too is I don't know. Do you have an iPhone?
No, no, I don't like Apple. I
So
don't
I
know.
have an iPhone strictly because of my music, so I can airdrop music to and from. It's very seamless and it's easy to use. It's very user friendly with a MacBook. But sometimes I'll find this little orange light by the camera, by the lens. I'll find a little orange light that just turns on sometimes and it won't turn off. And I'll tap it, nothing pops up on the screen. I'm like, Mr. Trump. What are you watching me for? Like, what are you watching me for right now? Like, what is it? Like, why is
Now,
that light on?
yeah, now it's gonna turn red, and it's gonna
Yeah,
start scanning the room like something out of like
it's like,
Terminator. It's gonna, yeah,
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 like the shit you see in the movies. Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. Uh, one more, and that's after this. Yeah. All right, so it says excuse me, let's be honest. If Kyle wasn't in through fire, the band would sound exactly the same, and the crowd would be 30% less confused about who the random dude in the back is.
I was in the front, but that is
I know.
funny.
Yeah, yeah. I would say go over these, and I want to throw these in the comments or in the description,
Yeah, I want
and
to
just
read all of these.
pick their favorites.
I want to read all of these because I'll probably roast myself on my Facebook or something. I'll put the best ones on there.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, looking towards the end of this, and kind of going over, there was a barrage of posts that came up, and I don't know, I forgot who the dude was, and if you don't want to talk about that, it's fine. But
Oh no, yeah,
that guy that came up, like asking you to do tours and stuff like that, and he was just, I'm gonna be blunt right now. He was being
mhm.
racist, and just some of the yeah,
Which guy
what
was
ended up
that?
happening to that? You know what? Honestly, I'm trying to look through your feed and I can't find the damn thing anymore.
Because
There,
I've had quite a few tour offers and stuff that I can't really remember anybody that was specifically rate. Were you talking about Max
racist,
Carrillo?
racist.
Are you talking about Max Carrillo? He's a buddy of
No,
mine.
no, not him. Oh wait, that was him. I felt like, oh, you know what? I think you might have commented on it or something, and
Probably so,
I
yeah.
I
Because
connected those
Max
two.
recently posted something. He said he was saying like slurs and I don't even want
Yeah,
to
what
go.
the hell, man?
He said, I don't want to
You know?
affiliate myself with or tour with people that say the N word and stuff like that. And I was like, whoa, dude,
Yeah,
that's insane. That's intense. And he was like, and the dude was like, cool. That's all he said was cool. And I feel bad
yeah,
for Max, man, because Max has been through the ringer with Waylon. He's been through the ringer with whoever we were just talking about. Like,
yeah.
poor guy just wants to get out there and rock and roll, man. That's it. He's such a sweet, kind soul. Like, I don't
He
get why
is.
he's he
I don't
deserves a lot better for sure, and
I don't understand
he'll
what
get
happened
it.
either.
He'll
And
get it.
the big thing is I think I met him. Oh God, maybe it was when he with Deepfall. I can't remember the
I,
bands that he was in. Pre A Killer's Confession. I can't think of the band.
He's been in so many. He's kind
Yeah,
of
I know.
he like kind of prides himself off of being like a freelance, like kind of
Hired gun.
hired gun Max is what he calls himself.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And like right after that, I had a conversation with Waylon, and I'm gonna keep it,
yeah,
vanilla. But I'm starting to see the realization of some of the people in Mushroom Head at this point, and
yeah,
I'll say it right now. Stitch is an asshole.
yeah.
Like, I
That's
do
okay to
not like
say.
that guy at all.
Yeah,
And he knows I don't like him.
yeah.
And it's a shame that like Max went through all that stuff, because that stuff follows that band for some reason.
It
And now
does. I mean, if
Waylon brings J-Man and Stitch in, and I'm like, and then they have X Faces.
yeah,
Like, you
it's like
guys, oh man,
mushroom head times two. Yeah.
yeah, V2, yeah. But
Yeah, that
but
toxicity, man. Once you have that person. Okay, so and I don't mind saying this either because I don't like this
sure.
guy whatsoever, and I'm not going to go rated R, but I'm also not going to keep it PG. Jesse Saint was the
Oh, that's
most was
yes.
the
I was trying
most
to think of it.
POS toxic mother. You know what I have ever met in my entire life, and he almost destroyed the band multiple times.
I remember that. Yeah.
And while I was in Black Veil Brides, I was getting ready in a hotel room with Cece, the drummer, and he said he came in from getting something that he was getting a beer or something down at the lobby, and he came back up in the room as I was blow drying my hair, and he was like, "Hey, dude, do you know Jesse Saint?" I was like, "Oh God, do I know Jesse Saint?" And he was like, "Yeah, he's talking some mad shit about you right now." I was like, "Show me," and he showed me his phone, and dude, it was like a novel of like stuff, just bullshit that wasn't even true about me trying to sabotage my opportunity with Black Veil Brides. I was like, you know what? God bless you, Jesse. I wouldn't put it past you to do something like this. Bless your heart. Like, poor guy.
And there it is. Bless Your Heart is the fuck you of the South. I love it.
Exactly.
Yes. I
That's funny.
I
Yeah.
talk about that on open mics and stand up all the time. Like, you can go and talk to anybody from the South, and they say bless your heart. You're like, oh, thank you. And if they say y'all go to hell, it makes it still feel good. It doesn't matter how they say it with that little bit of a draw.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, Jesse, I met him at Open Air in 2015,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
yeah, exactly. My condolences. Yeah. Uh, and he was like all about trying to come on the podcast, and I mean, it was infantile at the time. I wasn't really doing much with it, and
Yeah, for sure.
he was just all about like jumping in and trying to be a partner with it and all this other stuff. And I'll call him out. I don't really care at this point.
Yeah, he deserves to
And
be
he
called
was
out.
asking for money to do,
Yeah,
with his production company or whatever it was at the time.
yeah.
And he must have sent 1,000 requests. Like, I forgot
Really?
what, like Cash App, not Cash App. I forgot what it was.
Like Venmo or something
It
requests
was,
and
yeah,
stuff like that.
2015. It might even have been like a GoFundMe thing. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
But my ex and I would get them all the time,
You
and
know, I don't really see anything wrong with doing a GoFundMe or an emergency cry for help financially sometimes. Like I've had to do it a few
oh, for
times
sure.
myself just because of like the first time I left through fire. I came back to no job. I was going to be homeless living out of my car. So I had to do a GoFundMe. Just recently, I said I wouldn't go into detail, but here I am. So me and my wife are possibly getting a divorce and I lost everything. I had to come home in a matter of less than a day. I had to pack my stuff up, manage somehow to get a rental car, come back over here to Louisiana. And then I had to leave behind like so much stuff, clothes, studio equipment, like furniture that I bought, all just basically everything. I had to leave it all behind. So I came back here, lost my job in the process. So it was like, I'd posted something on Facebook. I'm like, guys, look, this is what's going on. If you could please help, anything helps. But as far as Jesse goes, I think it was like, if not every day, it was every other day. He was on his phone or calling or texting people for money for alcohol and drugs. It was insane, dude. Like, and he was coming up with excuses for as to what he was needing the money for. And it's like, you can't fool somebody. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fuck you. I'm done. You can't fool somebody that many times. And people started to see through it, and that's why he just kind of gave himself a shit name. So again,
Yeah.
bless his heart.
Or Jesse, fuck you. You know,
Exactly.
I'm I'm up north. We'll just we'll just go with that. And I
Oh,
would
that's funny.
I would love to bump into him, and actually he
Like,
might be a bit for me.
you like to bump into
Right.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. No, I think he'll be part of the stand up that I'm doing.
that's
Now that
funny. You
now that I
should do
do
that.
because I
You
do a
should.
lot of musicals. Yeah, here's me. Hello, my baby. Yeah, no, I actually do a lot with the music industry in regards to my open mics and my stand up.
Right.
Just because of the fact that the characters that I run into, and I kind of forgot about him. He's basically a no thought to me,
Yeah,
and
he tends to be for me as well, but when he does get brought up, it's like it burns in my brain for like days at a time, and it just angers me. It's like, man, that just makes me want to just like I just want to go chug a beer and take a shot after thinking about Jesse Saint. Like, ugh. Yeah. And I hope he's watching this.
oh no, I'm gonna make sure I tag this,
Please do.
and
Please do.
and then I'm gonna get his physical address and get an SD card of us just roasting him.
Oh, he
Oh,
deserves every bit of it though. And I hate to say that, man. It's like, but karma's a real bitch. Karma is a real
oh,
bitch. Just be a good
100%.
person. It's not that hard, bro. Just be a good person. It's not that
Um,
hard.
yeah, oh my god. Yeah, if I go into this right now, this is gonna be a lot longer podcast. So,
Yeah.
but but at the end, of course, like I told you before, give all the call outs, your socials, everything that's coming up, anywhere and everywhere that everybody can follow you and see the new stuff coming up.
Yeah.
And the mic's yours.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I might still have a few different profile or a couple of different profiles on Facebook, but my Facebook is it's got the my current Facebook has the Heartbreak Cells banner on top of it with the little it's like the purple and grainy looking thing with the saber-tooth skull, and it says um, Heartbreak Cells. That's my Facebook. It's under Kyle LeBlanc. My Instagram is at tfirekyle. I have not been able to change that for some reason yet since it's verified. Um, TikTok, I really don't use much, honestly, at all. But also my YouTube, which I'm transitioning into my new solo project stuff, is it's the official Kyle LeBlanc music page, and that is KPL, and it's spelled out 86 at youtube.com. And that's where you're going to find all the stuff when it comes to my music, like all my music videos. The new album's going to be streaming off of that as well. I'm trying to make that like my main platform. So YouTube KPL 86.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Dude, thank you.
It's been a lot of
Thank you.
fun, and
Yeah, this was awesome, man.
yeah, we got to do more of these, and I'm gonna start to round robin a lot of these too, because there's similarities between all the interviews,
Yeah.
and towards the end of the year, like the end of year, review, I
Hmm.
guess. We're gonna start doing some lives too. So
Awesome. Very cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, just anytime you want, man, let me know. I'm usually free and more than willing to hop on and do stuff like this. This is super fun for me. It's been a pleasure, and I do appreciate you having me on here, man. Absolutely.
Thank you.